taking a deep breath in, breathing in, and breathing out again. Breathing in, and breathing out again, letting your shoulders relax. Breathing in, and slowing the breath down, breathing out. Just keeping your breath going in and out through the nose, relaxing the body. Okay, today I thought I'd give a reflection about being a man, about what it is to be a man in the world. What is our role here in this world? Growing up for me, I felt that I didn't have, and there weren't really that many male role models around. There were males, but a lot of men that I was with were very much like boys, hurt boys. And I see that this is a thing in the modern world now. Someone gave me a reflection recently that saying that there are very few benevolent male role models around for the youth growing up. And I was reflecting, yeah, you look at the schools, certainly in the UK, the primary schools, there's not many men are in the profession anymore. I think it's about between 10 and 20% is the amount of male teachers now. So I thought I'd give a reflection today about what it is to be a man, and what can we do to cultivate becoming a man. One of the things our ancestors taught us, and also our native cultures, the tribes, the indigenous peoples, the importance of coming of age ceremonies. And in the West we don't really have this. We don't have this. So personally, at the age of 26, 27, I still felt like I was a boy. People called me a man, but actually I was still a boy. And I think this is something which would be really good to reintegrate. And I know nowadays that there are ceremonies for the coming of age. So it's either a vision quest or joining with communities of people, and the men and the women, the boys and the girls separating off and doing ceremonies. And yet, generally, we don't have that. So what I see with the world, certainly in the West, is there's a lot of boys and girls who are in leadership roles. They have not matured into men, into women. And because of this, we look at the world and we see what is manifesting. So I thought, what is it to be a man? And this is my own reflection from the teachers I've had and some of the men that I've lived with, living in a monastery with some really lovely men, some benevolent men, thinking what was important and what did I learn from these men? So first of all, for a man, it's really important to be present. And this goes as well for women. It's important for women to be present, but for men, and this goes into the area of relationships, it's really important for us as men to be present. Someone is talking to us and we look them directly in the eyes and we listen. Something's going off there, something's going up, but we're present, we pay attention, we listen. And if this person's going on and on, we're present with them. But sometimes it is important for us to be firm. Say, okay, I have to go now. So it's being present and having boundaries within that. So presence means being in the moment. The practices that I teach in my other videos about well-being, meditation, breathing techniques, getting into nature, all of these things cultivate and develop presence. Being here in the moment. Being with what is. And although this might contradict some of the other films I've put up, sometimes when we have challenges coming up and we're just present with what's coming up, it can be quite painful. But without judgment, without the mind going on and on and on, we're just present with it. It's like, wow. And one of the analogies that I've used over the years for myself is I imagine myself on a cliff with a sword in one hand and a shield in another, and I'm stood on the edge and I face this thing that I'm frightened of. And last night something came up for me and I just was with it. Tears came up and I cried. And yet through that, through facing, through being with the wounds, we cultivate presence, we cultivate depth as a man. So for me that's the first thing. It's cultivating presence, about being in the here and now. So doing our meditation practice, doing our breathing, doing our exercises, we do that to cultivate the here and now. Second thing I think is really important for men is giving. We live in a culture where it's about me. It's about, oh, what can I get? And that's an important part of our development, is to get what I want. Certain male teachers like David Dada talks about in The Way of the Superior Man, the need to, and he calls this the stage 3 man, he calls this the importance of giving unconditionally. So that's the second point. For a man, it's really important for us to give. Give without expectation of return. Give without expectation of anybody saying anything. Well done, or that was a great job, Piers, or wow, you are wonderful. No, it's like we give unconditionally. We give our shining. So say, for example, you're a painter, you're a poet, you're a singer, you're a songwriter. You write and you do it because that is your passion. And you do it and you continue doing it. Not because you're trying to do the work of art which sells, you're not trying to do the song which will be really commercial. You do it because that's what's in your passion, that's what's in your heart. And you just give of yourself. You give, you go out and you give. You don't do it to be liked. And this is an important part of being a man. Is that we're not here to be liked. We're here to be authentic. Yeah? That means tears, that means heartache, that means pain sometimes. Honouring our wounds and saying, okay, I'm here. I am now. And I give of my gifts. And yesterday I was talking to a friend's young boy who's about 9 or 10. And he was talking about his being bullied at school. And I was saying, feel into this, because I knew what this was like as a kid and I got into fights. And I was saying, feel into it and then express this in your dancing, in your painting. Express this. Don't hold on to it. Don't react. But give of your gift in a different way. Use that energy. And the example that came up for me was about this singer from Mali, I believe, called Salif Keita, who was a Malian singer, and he was born albino. And growing up for him was really, really difficult. He was ostracized by his family, he was ostracized by his community. And through this pain, he started to sing, and he sang his pain. He sang his pain. In his songs, he transmuted what he was feeling into the most passionate and amazing voice. But he didn't do it because he wanted to be liked. He didn't do it to get into the charts. He did it because that was his passion, and that's what he needed. That was how he could give. So that's the second point about being a man in the modern world now, is we give. We give of our light. We give. We don't expect anybody to like us. We don't expect anyone to say, yeah, that's great. You look at the greatest artists, the Kandinskys, the Miros, the Pollocks, the Van Goghs. When they were alive, a lot of them were vilified, and perhaps during the end of their career, some of them, they might have sold a few paintings. But there were long periods where people really hated their works, but they kept on going, they kept doing it. They kept giving, because that was their passion. And they became these unique and wonderful painters, because they weren't trying to be like a Rembrandt or whoever else was the contemporary at the time. So that's the second thing, giving. The third thing is focus. Focus for a man. You might say, well, I don't know what my life purpose is. That's okay. I don't really know what my life purpose is. It's unfolding. But focus for a man is, we get up in the morning and we focus. I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to focus on doing a good job of giving of myself. You don't have a job. You get up and you do whatever chores you need to do in the house. But you do. You focus. I'm going to do this. And you do that. It's really important for us to have direction. We're male. That's our energy. We're like the spear. We keep our focus. So that's the third thing, is keeping focus as a man. And being a man sometimes, just as being a woman, it's challenging. David Dada talks about being a man is like being crucified every day. That's not exactly very nice to hear that, but yeah, we have to keep letting go. We keep letting go. We keep, as David Dada talks, we keep dying into the moment. And that is presence. Being here and now. We die into this moment. So these are the reflections for today. So yeah, enjoy and be well. You're a powerful, if it's a man watching this, you're a powerful man. Growing into a man if you're a boy. So may you be well.